This is Matt for Boxing Social in association with Empire Fight Store. Delighted to be joined by heavyweight Jeamie TKV. Jeamie, talk to me, how's things? You just watched you do a workout in Ben Davison's gym with Bazza. How are you feeling?
Feeling good, man. Feeling sharp. Getting ready for my next fight. Just taking over and staying ready.
You finished last year off with a blistering KO. You did it under strange circumstances. I was there, watched you walk to the ring, watched you wait. I waited, your opponent waited. And it was a rare occasion where, thankfully enough, 2 ambulances were on site to take whoever they needed away. But you had that bit of a delay where you had to come back out, do a ring walk twice, then put on a performance. How much of a hindrance or annoyance was that for you?
You know what? For anyone else, it would be annoying. But for me, I took it quite easy. Like, I looked at my opponent. My opponent looked scared. He did not. He's never been in that surrounding. He's never been in that situation himself. He was terrified. I could see in his face. I was amping up my people going wild, and he kept looking at my people going wild. And the fact that he kept looking at them, and I tried to make eye contact with him, and he wasn't trying to look at me, I said, you know what, I've won the fight. No matter what happens, they bring us back, and we fight later on. I knew I was going to win that fight. It depended on how I was going to win, you know. But I took it how it was. Like, you can't change this situation. It is what it is. I took it, and the result was good for me. I can't complain.
You didn't just take it. You went in there and it was like nothing had happened before, and it might have affected him, but it takes nothing away from your performance because you put the work in, you put the effort in, and you managed to get him out of there. How pleased are you with your first year as a pro? I read somewhere you had over 70 amateur fights.
Yeah,
72 amateur fights. You're 29 years of age currently. Why last year? Why was now the right time to turn over?
Do you know what? Initially, I was supposed to turn over when I was 25, but then an opportunity came to obviously box for the Congolese national team. So I took that opportunity. It went well. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to qualify for the Olympics. So obviously then COVID kicked in. You know, COVID's the reason why I didn't qualify for the Olympics, but COVID kicked in. And then when COVID kicked in, it took a bit of time. So by the time I was ready to turn pro, as you guys know, turning professional is not a quick process. It does take its time. So obviously when I was ready to turn pro, time has gone by. I initially turned pro at 27.
Yeah.
I had my first fight at 28. So 28, and I turned 29 in November.
Yeah.
Time has just gone by, like literally from 25 to now. Literally time has gone by very quickly. So.
Well, you didn't just jump into the pro game with small hall shows. You jumped in there and got signed up with Boxer. New to the game, Boxer, but they had one hell of a year. They put some fights on we never thought they'd see last year, like Brook, Khan, Marshall Shields. How pleased are you to be with Ben Shalom and to be part of that sort of journey they're on?
It's a blessing because they're on the come up the same as me, because they are new to the promotion scene and they're doing very well, and they're pushing all their fighters and making sure that they do get the fights and get the exposure. So I'm blessed to be amongst everyone in the Boxer stable and working with Boxer and Sky Sports and stuff. So it's a blessing.
Plenty of fights for you to have as well. When you look around that scene, obviously, Fraser Clark, it seems to be sometimes, I think, when he gets matched up, looks to be struggling to get matched up. Obviously, he's turned over late, big part of that team. Also, you got Steve Robinson, who's just had a fight with Nick Campbell, so you've them two. When you look at where you're at the minute, only a few fights deep, obviously, but are you ready for the likes of a Steve Robinson, who's just had that win? Obviously, he suffered a loss, came back and did it. Are you wanting to be chucked in with the likes of them just yet?
You know what? Even if you ask them the same question, they will say yes as well. So we're all fighting men, you know. That will never turn down a fight. So the same way you ask me, I'll never turn down a fight with any of those fights that you mentioned. So I'm just here to fight. I'm here to fight anyone. Yeah. That's what the sport is about, and the best will stand at the end. Yeah. You know, if I'm not great, then it will show, but I know what I'm capable of, and I'll show it in due time.
You're in this gym, obviously Ben Davison's gym, working with Lee Wiley and Bazza. Ben's worked with a big heavyweight before, you know, fast hands, mobile. How much have you learned being in this gym, sort of, you know, perfecting your craft a little bit more? Because you've had time, say, without him, obviously the amateurs, and you've now come in here, and I'm sure he'll be showing you things you've never seen before. How do you feel you've sort of adapted to it?
Oh, I've adapted. Listen, being here, I learn a lot. You know what I'm saying? It's not just boxing, it's learning. We're learning You know, we do a lot of studying. You know, we watch other boxers and see how they do things, and we try and replicate it. You know, but it's just the transition. I feel like I've done a good job making the transition, and being here has been the best part of the journey, to be honest. And I've been developing and getting better every day working over here.
Absolutely. I read when you'd sparred the likes of Fabio Wardley and Daniel Dubois, etc. Is that a really good sort of level gauger for you to see where you're at? Obviously, you've had the big amateur background. Fabio hasn't, but Fabio's British champion. You've got Daniel Dubois, WBA regular champion, had a loss, come back. Is that a good range finder for you to go, you know what, I know where I am, know where I need to go?
Yeah, definitely. It helps me assess what level I'm at now and what level I could get to. So it's very good to spar those guys. But a little funny story, I first sparred Dubois when he was 16.
16?
Yeah, so I've known Dubois from when he was younger. Yeah. Caroline and all of that. I've known him from when they were really young. But at the time that I met him, he was boxing for a club called Islington Boxing Club. I'm not sure if you heard of it, but... So the first time we sparred, they said, you know what, he's only 16, take it easy on him. So, no worries. And when we started sparring, he was the sharpest kid. I was thinking, this kid, nah, you got to be on point with this kid. So I just remember sparring him as a 16-year-old, and we used to spar a lot. I think we spent, obviously after he turned pro, he went away. Yeah. And especially when he went to the GB team, he went away for a while. So we wasn't sparring for a while. And then we recently reconnected, since 2017 all the way to last year, reconnected in terms of sparring, started sparring again. So it did take a while in between, but I've known him from when he was 16, known him from a young age.
What do you make of Daniel's progress? He's had a bit of adversity, obviously. He fought Joe Joyce, came up with the wrong end of the result, had that really bad eye injury. He then went and fought Lenihan at Wembley. I can't remember what happened in the knockdowns, but he got knocked down a few times, but he took his composure and managed to get it back. What do you make of Daniel?
I mean, listen, he showed a bit of heart coming back and fighting, staying in there and fighting, because it's not easy. A lot of people do crumble. Obviously, it is a part of the game. Like, if you expect to go into this game and not to get hurt, you're in the wrong game. Yeah. It's bound to happen. You know what I'm saying? It's like going out in the rain and expecting not to get wet. Yeah. You know, it don't make sense. So it is normal. There's no shame in getting hurt. You know, so it's how you deal with getting hurt and how you come back. Yeah. That's the main thing.
You talk about getting hurt. Has there been a point so far where you've been, I don't want to say buzzed, because you don't look like you have been, but have you been touched at all? You thought, yeah, stung a bit, or took you by surprise, or in your pro game so far?
Nah, not yet. No, I haven't been hit like that yet.
Right now, in your opinion, who's the best heavyweight in the world? We've got Tyson Fury, looks like he's coming to fight. Alexander Usyk, God willing, we get an undisputed fight. I think the game needs that. We've also got Anthony Joshua looking to make a comeback. Deontay Wilder still in the mix. You've got Andy Ruiz. Joe Joyce, the list goes on and on. Right now, what's your opinion on the heavyweights?
Do you know what? I'll say Tyson Fury's on top. Then I think Usyk creeps up and he's number 2. I feel like obviously AJ will be putting number 3, but I actually think Joe Joyce earned his right to be number 4, right after maybe Usyk, you know, until he fights the big boys. But for me, the number 1 for me is just Tyson Fury. At the moment, he's performing and he's getting all the wins, can't complain.
Would you like to share the ring with him one day?
Of course, it would be an honour. I mean, if I'm able to catch the last bit of their career, because, you know, most of them are just about, I won't say finishing their careers, but surely after a few good wins, they're probably going to hang up their gloves, but I want to be able to catch them at the end. Yeah,
we're sort of coming to the end of that era, but maybe if you don't get to fight Tyson, even if you went and had a spar with him, because he'd fight anywhere, I'm pretty sure. That'd be, I suppose, good for you and your development as a pro, especially when you're, you know, less than 10 fights.
Yeah, exactly. It would be a great experience. I mean, I'm sure that could happen. Yeah. I mean, obviously, with my team, we could put that together, but in due time, when time is right, when he's fighting someone with my style, because he's fighting Usyk next, so I believe so. From what I've heard, he's fighting Usyk, so I'm not a southpaw, so hopefully he fights someone like maybe Ruiz, got a similar style to Ruiz or someone like that, and we mix it up then.
Fingers crossed. Your support, let's talk about that. The last show, I was there, December, no one's got any money in December. But you had a lot of fans there. You came to the ring, they stuck around for you as well. They didn't get annoyed when he says it was a big delay for people who weren't there. James stood in the ring for ages, had to leave, then come back. Your fans really got behind you. How sort of blessed do you feel to have that support this early on in your career and have all them people behind you?
Do you know what's crazy about the support? That wasn't even everyone that could come. That was literally a small portion of people. But my people support heavy, and it is a blessing to have such support because it can only get bigger from now. You get what I'm saying? Once I'm performing, getting better, getting exposure, I can only gain more fans. So with the fans, those are people that actually know. I know, like in my first fight, I sold like around 300 tickets and so on and so on. But obviously, this fight was close to home, but just not everyone came out this time, but a lot of people still came out, and the support was crazy. It was brilliant.
You got a message to people who maybe have never seen you fight before, why they should tune in and watch Jeamie TKV this show?
Hey, TKV is all about entertainment, man. I'm all about scrapping and entertaining the crowd. That's what I'm about, man.
Look forward to this guy on his journey, very exciting, huge amateur background as well. Look, we appreciate your time, thanks for talking to Boxing Social. We'll catch up on you next fight week, appreciate it.
Thank you for your time.